Hey, how you doing? Good morning, guys. So I literally was just having my coffee over here. I switched to tea, but having my coffee and I pulled out my phone and I was like, is it real? And it's real. Just to show you guys what I'm seeing, like TikTok has officially been taken down from the US. And I'm like, how did this happen? But I don't know. And I don't know all the rules and legislators and stuff that closed it down, but it's like even like 5 or 6 years ago as a content producer, content marketing, creative, I was like something just wasn't sitting in my gut right on this platform. So I never really dove into it. And if you're somebody who did fully dive into TikTok, I know you probably got a ton of benefit from it because a lot of people would tell me like how beneficial it was for them, how much they loved it, and like it was such a dope platform because anybody with their phone could literally create content and relate to an audience, which was super cool. It was revolutionary. And then brands and stuff was just popping off of it, which is super cool. But as somebody in this like content marketing space, something that kind of I was like hesitant from was just like to see how quick this thing built up overnight. Because like trends that I've seen in business as a whole is markets that pop off really quickly or things that come out of the blue and just take off, they come down really fast too. It's like I think they call it Murphy's Law. I think it's like what goes up must come down, and it goes up just as fast as it comes down. And it's like, even in like other trends, you could see this in CBD. CBD was like, in America, we were like, oh my God, it's cannabis. And they're like, no, it's CBD. And it's tons of millionaires were made off of it. And then once the pioneers were out of the market, the settlers came in and crashed. Because it was just like, and then weed became illegal everywhere. You see what I mean? It was like, the inevitable will always happen, but you gotta like be in a place to know exactly how to make sure that the inevitable doesn't bring you down with it, right? Like for instance, as somebody who wasn't on the TikTok train, because honestly, I just couldn't figure it out. I just could not figure it out. I was like, what is this? How does this work? Like I just shoot stuff on my phone and put it to a song and do a dance and post it and people like it and follow it. Like I just didn't get it. So instead of like trying to understand it, what I did was like, all right, how many platforms are there? I don't know. You got YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, X, so there's 5, but I use 4. I really don't understand X either. I think it's like a newspaper. Anywho, so what I was doing was like, well, I get all my clients from Instagram and referrals, okay? And that's where we were like posting photos, videos, whether it be travel, whether it be work stuff with clients. I don't really like to post my client stuff because I really don't want to bring more of it in, but there are platforms for it. We'll get to that next. But LinkedIn works great for that stuff. But, I was just like on this train of Instagram and was like not benefiting from it, but I was landing clients from it. So I was benefiting from it. And I was like, how can we grow this? And then my content strategy was really simple. And it was just like, post the same stuff you're posting to Instagram on all the other platforms. So, and we've really been driving this strategy home because it's essentially like one piece of content gives you, if you use all five chances to hit an algorithm, to build an audience, to find that one person or that client, or to find the thousands of people that you're looking for. It gives you a times 5 factor if you post to all of them. That's a good chance. And then in the case that something wild happened and they found out that Instagram CEOs were trading information to China. Let's just say that one. I don't know. Then Instagram would die tomorrow. Like my business, my model, my marketing doesn't take a massive hit. It doesn't go to zero instantly one day. It's like, oh, there's all these other platforms. So what I did was use them. And it was really cool to even see the benefits of all the platforms, right? Like LinkedIn, my ego hates posting to LinkedIn, but my bank account loves it, right? Like I'll get 100 impressions and 3 likes and maybe a comment on the dopest marketing video I've made. And I'm just like, damn, that hurts. I put my heart and soul into it. And then boom, by Chris.io, like there's a discovery call. Who's this? Oh, I'm just a vice president of a corporate medical technical company. We saw your video on LinkedIn and we'd love to work with you. Ka-ching! Yeah, that got me like 12 grand last year from one client. Like, yes, please, more, please. And then like YouTube's dope, especially with these like talk to camera styles. Like I can literally like talk about business. I can share all the stuff that I'm going through in life. I can find people whose lives just got destroyed in one moment and be like, here's what I do to rebuild it. Like it's fun, and I can also show cinematic travel videos. And then Instagram's just like I'm just gonna post stuff here to stay relevant because exposure, constantly being in front of people, whether it's 100 views or 1,000 views, 10 likes or 100 likes, like they're still seeing me every day, and I'm like, I gotcha when you need a video. Like that is what content marketing is. It's not like hunkering down and using one platform. And in a sense of this too, like let's go here. I've wanted to go here. We should definitely talk about this. Is like, and I can't speak 100% out of experience. From my experience and from what I've heard people talk about on TikTok, like what was the value? Because in my mind, it was procrastination and distraction, right? Like I'm gonna go on TikTok and get 5,000 views for posting a video of me dancing. Like that doesn't have value. But then I've heard other creatives on, YouTube talk about what they were doing on TikTok, and it was more videos like this, like getting to know the creative, like talking to an audience and so forth. And there can be a ton of value in this kind of content. But like the other content, I was just like, from what I heard, like it was just like people's distraction. And if you think about it, this is crazy. I just watched a series on like the opiate crisis in America, and this might be an unpopular decision, but I almost feel like TikTok was like this, like digital addiction people had. Because if you think about it, like this is actually a really cool concept, and I learned this from one of Jake Paul's editors, who was here in Kansas City. Total, not a cool guy, but he taught a lot. So this is really cool. But like the way the human psyche works is like dopamine. Before we had stuff on our phones, what we had to do was go out and kill something. So we had to like create an intention. We were hungry and we needed to get some food. So then we went out and we worked hard to kill it, and then we eat it. Like that's primalness, right? But along the way, like as you're traveling and you're trying to hunt this animal that you need to feed yourself with, you're getting dopamine like crazy because you're seeing new landscapes, you set a goal and you're working on achieving that goal, right? And then you get it and you're like, whoa, dopamine hit. Plus, when you eat, you get dopamine too, right? Massive dopamine hits. Now relate this to TikTok. This will change your life about social media platforms and dopamine. So if you're on TikTok and you saw 25 videos in one day, you got a ton of dopamine and you're like, whoo, man, this shit feels good, dopamine. So the next day you wake up and you're like, you watch 25 and you're like, I don't have that same feeling. So you had to go to 30. And then the next day you had to go to 40, 50, 60, 70. And then over time, you were buying into cheap dopamine. And in order to get more cheap dopamine, like drugs, alcohol, social media, doom scrolling, like all these things that we do, like it's not beneficial for the body. The body actually crashes and hates it. So what I'm getting at with this is like, I think TikTok caused people to get dopamine hungry, and the ceiling was getting higher and higher and higher. And this might be like divine intervention stepping in to be like, this isn't sustainable. Like if you see my burnout video, that wasn't sustainable. Like you need to find something that's sustainable. And I think with this being said too, with TikTok being taken down, I think you're going to see content get slower. I think content is going to get more personal. It still won't be as high polished because that leads to burnout. It'll be more real. It'll be more experiential, more emotional connection. It'll just have a different kick to it than like, watch this super fast sizzle and love what I created. Follow me for more dopamine hits. It's going to be more of just like value, learning, experiencing, sharing, compelling. It's going to pull society closer together is what I'm getting at. So, yeah. But guys, if your life or your business or whatever was affected by TikTok, I'm sorry to hear that. And though it might seem like you're going through a really tough time, I think you're going to transform and grow into something greater because it did probably teach you some really key aspects if it doesn't come back, But it taught you the foundation to what you're probably building. So instead of holding on to this or jumping to another platform that'll replace it, like there's many platforms out there that have withstood the test of time, are withstanding the test of time, and won't be around. And instead of being a disruptor and being like, I'm going somewhere else, like dive into these markets, dive into these algorithms, learn how to share your message on all these platforms. Because if you use all the platforms eclectically, you're gonna see yourself grow eclectically, and you're gonna be able to like hit target markets and audiences and people that you never thought were there, who will bring you probably some of the best stuff that they've ever brought to you in your life, and will lead you into a newer direction where you can grow and develop as a human, and you can help change and impact this world. Woo-wee! That's a perfect ending. Peace out, y'all.